Hi, everybody. It's Miss Stevens, and today we're going to do our directed draw letter B. It says B, lowercase and uppercase, and then it says belt. B for belt. So here we go. We're going to be drawing a belt. You need a black crayon to start out with, so make sure you have your black crayon. All right, once you have your black crayon, what you're going to do is you're going to draw like a curve line, but it's going to be very short curve, and it's going to go approximately 4 fingers from each side. So here we go. We're going to start in the middle. Make sure it's in the middle between the belt and the letters B. And you're going to start over here and you do a curved line from one side. And remember, it's almost like a flat curve, just a little bit of a curve to the other side. So it's like a big smiley face. All right, when you're done with that, you're going to draw 2 lines straight down, one on this side and one on the other side. All right. Then you're going to connect it with the same sort of curve all the way across. Remember, if Mrs. Stevens is going too fast for you, you can always pause the video. Right? This is our belt. So a belt has a belt buckle. So you're going to draw 2 straight lines adjoining my 2 curved lines. And then in the middle of that, you're going to draw a rectangle. Rectangles have 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, mine's not touching, so I need to fix it. All right, so you have your belt. Now, this belt is a special belt. It's what a construction worker uses. So what we're going to do is draw some tools attached to my belt. The first tool we're going to draw is a hammer. We're going to draw it on this side right here. A hammer has a part that you hit with, and the part that you hit with is going to be a circle. So go next to your belt. This is my belt, and I'm going to go about 1 finger away from my belt and make a circle. Now, the circle should be about the size of your finger. So if my finger was on it, it could fit right over it. You guys see that? So here's my finger. I'm going to put it right over it. So not too big and not too small. All right, the head of the hammer is going to start at the top of the page. So we're going to start here, and we're going to go straight out toward the top, towards that letter B, and then we're going to curve it at the end. Okay, curving it at the end for my belt. All right, at the end of it, it has this little prong thing that looks like 2 fingers that stick out to help you get nails out. But we're going to only draw the side of it. So what it looks like is it's going to be a straight line down. All right. Then it's going to curve back towards my hammer and stop. So I'm just going to draw like that. And then from here, I'm going to draw a straight line down right next to the belt that I've already made, so it looks like it's attached to my belt. So here we go. We're going to go straight down and touch right next to it and go straight down and go about 2 fingers lower than your belt. All right, then we're going to go back up here, back up to the circle. You're going to come back towards the curve you already did, but don't touch it. Make sure there's a space in the middle. All right, so you're going to come this way. You're going to stop because we need to have it as a handle. So the handle on the other side is going to go straight down again, straight down, and be as long as your other line you drew down. Now over here, we're going to do a small curve, and then it usually has some sort of thing on the bottom of the handle, so we're going to draw another one up here. That one's about 2 fingers away. All right, there is my hammer. Now we're going to go to the other side, and on this side, we're going to draw a screwdriver. So with our screwdriver, it's going to go just like the hammer along the side of my belt over here. And you're going to go straight up, right along, and you're going to do a curve at the top. All right, just a little curve. So we went straight up about the size of my finger. Okay, over here, you're going to go a little bit higher than over here, and you're going to curve the same curve. All right, and they're going to go back up to that top, back up to this spot. There we go. So it kind of looks like an oval, a squished pancake, I like to call it. All right, then down at the bottom, it has a little part that sticks out on each side. So just two little lines that are coming out the side or the bottom of the screwdriver. I don't like mine. It went too far over. I'm going to come back a little bit this way and draw it again. That's okay if we do that. All right. You need to do that little curve again. That's the handle part that holds onto the metal. So we're going to draw the metal part that helps us screw stuff in. So here's that line. I'm going to do another tiny one right next to it. And then our bottom, we're going to draw just one little loop back. Okay, there's my screwdriver. I'm going to draw actually two more tools. Over here by the screwdriver, we're going to draw a wrench. Okay, our wrench is going to start out like a U shape. Okay, it's going to go from one side over to the other side, like that, like a big U. Make sure it's touching the top of your belt so that we know, again, it's attached to my belt because it's my tool belt. All right, from here, we're going to curve up a little bit, down, and then back up again. So we're making like this wave. So we're going to go down, up, and back in. Okay, so make sure when you go down, it doesn't touch the side. So you're going down towards the middle and then back up and around. So that's the top part of my wrench. Okay, from here, we're going to do two diagonal lines out, one going this way. Don't make it longer than your screwdriver. And you're going to go out the other way. Again, don't make it longer than your screwdriver. And for here, we're going to start at the belt. We're going to go right next to my line I already made and then curve. And the same on the other side. So I'm going to start at that belt line, down and back up. There's my wrench. All right, now one more thing that lots of builders use is a pencil. This is very easy. You guys all know what pencils look like. You're going to just draw one straight line down. Stop before it's as long as your other tools, right? They're all about the same. Do another one right next to it. All right. And then we need to draw the tip. The tip is going to be like a letter V. So we're going to go down and back up and draw a little bit of a black right at the top. There's our pencil. Then we need an eraser up at the top. So we're going to draw a square, just a square at the top of our pencil. All right, so now we have our tools on our belts. Okay, we're going to draw it like a person's wearing it. So watch this. We're just going to go straight up like this is their side of their body. All the way up the top. Again, over here, close to the screwdriver part, and go straight up. There we go. Now he has a body, right? There's his body. His arms would be up here, right? There's his body. And then we're going to draw some legs down on this side, okay? So we're going to go down here. Stop at that line for your name, right? And same thing over here, straight down. There's his legs, right? So his legs are off the pop. We're not going to cover up the word belt or the bees. So remember, when you're coloring, we're not going to color that. All right, now tools. Tools can be whatever you want. Most construction workers, though, wear a jeans. So jeans are blue. So get out a blue crayon. Let's see, here's my blue crayon. All right, but again, we don't want to cover up the words. So when we do that, we're going to draw a box around or a rectangle around the word belt. All right, so draw a rectangle around the word belt. And then you're just going to kind of color it in. Remember, don't color over your tools. We're only coloring in your jeans, okay? Coloring in the jeans. Go down here, coloring it in. All right, for this one, we're going to write our name in black. So it's okay if you go over down here a little bit. We're pressing very light. Mrs. Stevens calls this a shading. So if you look, I'm not pressing hard. I'm doing it very lightly, very lightly. I'm pressing soft, soft, soft to give just a little bit of color, right? I don't want to press hard like this, right? Hard. Look how dark it is compared to my rest, okay? We don't want that. We want light pushing, softly pushing while you do your shading coloring, right? Just a little bit of coloring, just so we see that there is some contrast there with a different kind of color. All right, so those are my jeans. And now I need to give my guy a leg. I didn't give him a leg, so I need to give him a line so we know that he has a leg, right? He has some legs. And then up at the top, usually there's a dash lines to show that's where the zipper of his pants is, right? Or her pants. All right, we're on to the belt. I'm going to give our guy a gold belt buckle. So since we don't really have gold, we're going to get out the yellow. Get out the yellow crayon, and we're going to color in the outside of this rectangle, just the outside, around the outside to give him a gold buckle. Okay, when we're done with that, we're going to get out the brown crayon and color their belt. Now, we don't want to color over any of the tools. So watch what I mean by that. When we're coloring, again, pressing softly, we're shade coloring. We're not coloring too dark, but we're going to color right up to the tools, okay, right to next to the tools. So I'm not going to color over it. See that? I didn't color over it. I left my tool. Left it just the way I like it, not colored in, right? We want it not colored in yet. So color softly, barely pushing on the crayon and leaving all of our tools not colored over by this brown. Okay, I like to turn my paper. If you like to turn your paper to color, you may turn in your paper to color, or you can leave it straight. You can leave it just like this and leave it straight if you want. Either way is fine. Okay, just make sure that you get it all colored in and not coloring on our tools. Okay, not coloring our tools. Now, if you have a gray crayon, now, some of you may not. Look at Mrs. Stevens. Her crayons, she doesn't have a gray crayon, but that's okay. She doesn't have a silver crayon. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, has to be a gentle, gentle touch. Very soft. We're going to do the wrench right here in gray. Now watch, soft, gentle, very light, like I'm barely touching the paper. Look how soft. See my dark, dark, dark black from drawing earlier? Now I'm going to color in that soft, soft, soft to make it look kind of gray. And then I bet you know what color I'm going to color over it when I'm done. Who knows? You're right. I'm going to color white over the top of it. But this is the important part. Super soft, very light. Very, very light. So I'm kind of like almost not touching the paper while I'm coloring. All right. And then I'm going to take that white and color over it. Now you're going to color a little bit harder and see how it kind of smears it. See how it looks a little different than the other side? Not much, but just enough. Okay. Just enough to know that this is a different color. And this time you are going to press kind of hard. See how it looks a little bit different than down here? I bet you can see on your paper it looks more different than it does on my paper, okay, so it's kind of blending in that white and that black to make that gray color. Okay, and again, that time you're pressing a little harder. So there's my wrench. Now our screwdriver, you can make the top part any color you want because it comes in any color you want. I'm going to do mine red. So here's my red, and I'm going to just color in the top part of my screwdriver. Top part of my screwdriver. There it is. Top part of my screwdriver. Now, down at the bottom, Again, it's like a gray or silver, so we're just going to barely color it in, that bottom part, so we know it's actually a tool. And then we come back with our white and we go over darker. Okay, see how it blends it together and it makes lick gray? All right, back over here, all the way over to the other side where the hammer is. Now, when we're coloring our hammer, we don't want to color too dark, because if you color too dark, you won't be able to see this part. So what I'm going to do is actually color in this black. So color the end black, and then we're gonna light, barely coloring, lightly pushing on the paper. See how it's different. You almost can't see mine, I'm doing it so light, but that's okay. We just want to know that this is a tool, and usually the tools are made out of metal. Not all, like the pencil's not, and it's a tool, but most of them are made out of metal. So we're gonna go ahead and color it in, and then go back over with that white over that silver part. You can go over this part too, because that's actually gray too. I just wanted you to make sure that it was two different colors. So remember, we pressed really dark on this part and really soft on the rest of the hammer. All right, remember, if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause, catch back up, and then press play. All right, the bottom of our hammer, again, can be any color you want. I really like, let's see, green. I want some green. So I'm going to put some green on here just for the end of my hammer, so the grip, so I can hold on to it really nicely. All right, pencils. Pencils are usually yellow. They can come in lots of colors, but today I'm going to make mine yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and press kind of hard on my pencil, so we can see it, even though it has some lines through it. That's okay. Our belt was more important. All right, then it needs our eraser right up at the top. So let's put our eraser. Or we can make our pencil striped. I could even do that. We can come back and we can draw some lines on our pencil and just pretend our pencil was a striped pencil, right? That's fine too. All right. Oh, I just noticed I forgot to color in right here. That was part of my belt. So it needs to be what color? Brown, right? It needs to be brown. This middle part of my belt needs to be brown because my belt is brown. Remember, when we're doing our coloring on here, we're pressing very softly. The only part I pressed a little more difficult, or a little more strength, was the black right here. All right, now the shirt part. You're going to color any color you want, because they can have any color shirt you want. I recommend not doing it the same color as your screwdriver, because then sometimes it gets a little hard to decide which is which. I'm going to do a dark green shirt. Okay, we're going to start by putting a rectangle around the bees up at the top, so that we remember not to color over it. All right, last part, we're shading. So we're pressing soft, softly coloring, barely pushing, leaving a lot of white. I know in my class we say try to do 3-star coloring and do it no white, but that's okay when we're shade coloring. This is called shade coloring. And we're doing your hands moving up and down or left and right, depending on it. I remember, I like to turn my paper around when I'm doing large sections. So if you like to do that too, you may do that. All right, so I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to go over my wrench right here. I'm going to go around it. So I'm going to go right here in the middle, and then over here. I don't want to color over it. And I'm going to stay inside the lines, because this is a shirt, right? If I went over here, our shirt would be weird. All right, so we're going to keep going around. Here we go. Back and forth. All the way to the top of our paper, but not going over the letter B's, because we're going to trace those in a second. All right, we're close to being done. All right, so there's my construction worker. He's wearing a green shirt and he has some black pants, or excuse me, some blue pants, and he's wearing tools on his tool belt. All right, for the last part of our directed draw, you can get out your magic color. And a magic color means any color you want, because all of them will magically make our letters. So choose any color you want. I'm going to do this purple right here. I'm going to start up here at the letter B's. I'm going to go from the top. We always start at the top, right? When we're making letters. So we go straight line down. We're going to jump back up to the top. And we're going to go around, touch the middle, and around one more time to make that capital B. All right, lowercase b time. Starting at the top, we're going to go down in a straight line, pick up our crayon, start in the middle, and go around. So that's our lowercase b. All right, now we're going to go down here to the bottom and spell this word B-E-L-T, and that spells belt. Here we go. Straight line down, starting at the top. Go around to the middle, and then back around again to the bottom. Letter B. Okay, next letter, we always start at the top. Straight line down, jump back up, across the top, across the middle, and then one more time to make that E across the bottom. The letter L, starting at the top, we're going to go straight line down and then out. Letter T, straight line down, jump back up and across the top. Nice, you wrote the word belt, B-E-L-T. Now down here it says trace the letters and write your name. So we traced the letters. Now it's time to write our name. So there's this line right here. And you might have to press hard depending on how hard you did your coloring for your jeans. And you're going to write your name. My name is Mrs. Stevens. So I'm going to write Mrs. Stevens. But your name is not Mrs. Stevens. So you need to write your name. All right, there's our picture. We drew a belt on a construction worker. When you're all done, make sure you submit this. Click on the add picture and take a picture. Hold it in front of your face so you can see you as a construction worker. Until next week, bye-bye.